Have you ever wondered why some tasks seem impossible until they are done? This is a question that has perplexed many of us. It's like staring at a mountain from the base, the peak shrouded in clouds, daunting and seemingly insurmountable. But what if I told you that the mountain isn't as formidable as it appears? The concept of "it seems impossible until it's done" is a fascinating one. It's a dance between our mind and reality, a push and pull that often determines how we approach challenges. When something appears impossible, it's not necessarily a reflection of its actual difficulty, but rather a testament to the limits of our perception. You see, our minds are wired to assess and avoid risk. When faced with a task that seems overwhelming, our brain instinctively flags it as impossible. But it's important to remember that this is only our perception of the task, not the task itself. The key lies in understanding that the magnitude of a task is often overestimated by our minds. Once we realize this, we can begin to break the so-called impossible down into manageable parts. It's like eating an elephant. You can't possibly do it in one bite, but if you break it down into smaller pieces, it suddenly becomes feasible. Taking the first step is often the hardest part. It's like dipping your toe into a cold pool. The initial shock might make you recoil, but once you're in, you adapt. Similarly, once you take the first step towards accomplishing a daunting task, you'll find that it's not as challenging as it seemed from the outset. So, the next time you're faced with a task that appears impossible, remember that it's not the task itself that's daunting, but your perception of it. And changing this perception is entirely within your control. So, the key to overcoming the impossible is to change our mindset and approach. It may seem like a tall order, but remember, even the tallest mountains are climbed one step at a time. Now, imagine you're an entrepreneur facing a seemingly impossible task. As an entrepreneur, you're no stranger to challenges. This world is a labyrinth of potential pitfalls and obstacles. You may be starting a business, creating a product or service from scratch, or trying to break into a market dominated by established players. Each venture, each step forward, brings its own set of hurdles. When you're starting, you're essentially setting out into the unknown. There's no roadmap, no instruction manual. You're faced with countless decisions, each one capable of steering your venture towards success or failure. This uncertainty can seem overwhelming, like standing at the foot of a mountain staring at the peak shrouded in clouds. Then there are the external challenges. The market might be saturated, or the economy might be in a downturn. You might face stiff competition or regulatory hurdles. These factors beyond your control can make your goal seem impossible to reach. But here's the key. The impossible isn't a fact, it's a perspective. It's the perception of a hurdle being too high, a goal too lofty, a path too treacherous. But as an entrepreneur, you possess the power to change this perspective. You have the ability to strategize, innovate, persist, and adapt. You see, entrepreneurs are akin to explorers, venturing into the uncharted. They are the pioneers, the trailblazers. They embrace uncertainty, turn challenges into opportunities, and transform impossibilities into realities. They don't just dream, they execute. They don't just hope, they hustle. They don't just plan, they perform. So when faced with a seemingly impossible task, remember this. Every great achievement was once considered impossible. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every giant leap forward was once a mere dream. It took someone with the courage to challenge the status quo, to dare to do the impossible, to make it a reality. Entrepreneurs are not defined by the challenges they face, but by how they rise to meet them. They are the architects of their own success, building it brick by brick, turning the impossible into the possible. Entrepreneurs are proof that the impossible can indeed become possible. Let's delve into some real-life examples of people who have conquered the impossible. Take Elon Musk, for instance. His journey was a roller coaster ride of impossible tasks. Musk faced numerous challenges when he decided to venture into the world of electric vehicles with Tesla. The automobile industry was dominated by gasoline cars, and many believed electric vehicles were just a fantasy. Yet Musk persisted, and today Tesla's electric vehicles are a reality, changing the face of the industry forever. Next, consider the story of the world-renowned artist Frida Kahlo. After a severe accident in her youth, she was bedridden for a long period. Her dream of becoming a doctor seemed impossible, but she didn't let this stop her. She turned to art during her recovery, painting from her bed, often using a mirror to create self-portraits. Today, she's regarded as one of the most influential artists of the 20th century. Then, there's the story of Jack Ma. He faced rejection from numerous jobs, even from a fast food chain. When he founded Alibaba, he was going against a market dominated by established players. The idea of an e-commerce platform in China was considered impossible by many. But Ma persisted, and Alibaba is now one of the largest e-commerce platforms in the world. And let's not forget about the inspiring story of Malala Yousafzai. As a young girl in Pakistan, she stood up for girls' rights to education, a cause that nearly cost her life. Despite the immense danger, she persisted in her advocacy and became the youngest recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. These stories remind us that the impossible is not a fact, but a challenge. They show us that the path to success is often riddled with obstacles, but each obstacle is an opportunity to grow and make the impossible possible. These individuals show us that with persistence and determination, the impossible becomes possible. So, how can you start overcoming your own impossible tasks? Well, the first step is to redefine the impossible. Yes, that's right. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. It might seem like a daunting task, but it's actually a challenge waiting to be conquered. Start by setting clear, achievable goals. What do you want to accomplish? Make sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This is often referred to as the SMART goal setting. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful. Instead, define what success looks like for you. Maybe it's launching your own business, or perhaps it's achieving a certain level of sales. Now break down these goals into manageable parts. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your dreams be. By breaking down your goals, you are making the impossible seem a little more possible. Take one step at a time, and before you know it, you'll be closer to your goal than you ever thought possible. Maintaining a positive mindset is also crucial. Surround yourself with positivity, both in terms of people and thoughts. Believe in yourself and your vision. Remember that every no brings you closer to a yes. Every failure is a step towards success. Don't forget to celebrate your small wins. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Celebrate these moments as they will keep you motivated and remind you of your progress. Lastly, never stop learning. The world is constantly changing, and so should you. Stay curious, keep learning, and keep growing. Equip yourself with the knowledge and skills needed to overcome your impossible. Remember, there's no such thing as an overnight success. It takes time, effort, and a lot of perseverance. But when you finally achieve your impossible, you'll realize that the journey was worth every step. Remember, every journey starts with a single step. Your impossible task is no different. So take that first step today and start making the impossible possible. To wrap up, let's revisit the concept that it seems impossible until it's done. This simple yet profound phrase encapsulates the spirit of every great achievement in human history. It's a gentle reminder that the impossible is often just the untried. In our journey today, we delved into the mindset of an entrepreneur, the brave soul who dares to tread where most won't. We've seen how they view the impossible not as a dead end, but as a challenge, a puzzle waiting to be solved. They don't shy away from the impossible. They embrace it, they dissect it, they strategize around it. We then ventured into the realm of real-life examples. We witnessed how individuals, teams, and even entire societies have turned the impossible into the possible. Stories of triumph against the odds, of David conquering Goliath, of the human spirit refusing to bow down to adversity. These stories serve as a testament to our collective ability to conquer the impossible. We also explored the concept of overcoming your own impossible, how it's not just about the external factors, but also about the internal ones. The battles we fight within ourselves, the doubts, the fears, the insecurities, and how with the right mindset, strategy, and persistence, we can overcome these internal roadblocks and achieve our seemingly impossible goals. It's important to remember, though, that the journey towards making the impossible possible is seldom a straight line. It's a winding path filled with obstacles and setbacks, but it's also filled with opportunities for growth and learning. In this journey, every failure is a stepping stone, every setback is a lesson, and every success is a testament to our resilience and determination. So as we venture forward, Let's carry these lessons with us. Let's remember that the impossible is not a barrier, but a challenge to be conquered. And let's remember that no matter how daunting the task may seem, with the right mindset, strategy, and persistence, it's only impossible until it's done. Next time you're faced with a seemingly impossible task, remember these lessons and know that it's only impossible until it's done.